Good evening, students. Today we are going to do conjunctions. Now, when we do talk about conjunctions, conjunction plays a vital role in your SAT writing section, and especially coordination and subordination. When we're talking about coordination and subordination, it is about the types of conjunctions that we will be using in our simple sentences or in our complex sentences. Let's see what are they. Conjunctions are used to join clauses, phrases and words together for construction sentences. Now, the conjunctions make a link between words or among words or word groups or to other parts of the sentence and show a relationship between them or among them. Please check. It works on your words, it works on group of words, it groups of part of sentences and also clauses. This is the most important part. Example, Alex and Robin are playing together. When we talk about Alex and Robin, and is the conjunction. Alex plays well, but Robin plays better than him. But is basically a conjunction. I play cricket and Robin plays football. In this, and is a conjunction. When he was sick, I went to see him. Now, when is a conjunction. Now, we will see that there are three different types of conjunctions. Conjunctions are basically linking words or joining words, which help us in joining the clauses, words or parts of sentences. Basically, it also helps us in joining the dependent sentence with the independent sentence or two or more independent sentences or two words, more words. It could be anything. Okay, so we start with the types of conjunctions, and the first one is the coordinating conjunctions, the correlative conjunctions and the subordinating conjunctions, or they are called subordinate conjunctions or that's completely the same. Okay, so they basically help you when we are trying to join words, sentences, clauses, phrases, etc. Okay, there's no etc actually. Okay, so that's about it, and let's check how are they going to help us and how each one of them is different, and at the same point how each one can be used in a sentence. So the first thing that we could talk about is like this. The coordinating conjunctions are basically words that they are basically the fanboys. They're basically words that basically joins like this. See, Lee eats cakes and pies. Her comment was blunt but effective. These are the fanboys. You will see for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. They will learn at length. I will illustrate it as we are going through the session. As for now, coordinating conjunctions are nothing but fanboys for us. Okay, and they actually help us in creating complex sentences, to join complex sentences and stuff like that. So let's go to the subordinate conjunctions. Now, subordinate conjunctions help us, when we are talking about coordinate conjunctions, we'll see the options also. You can see that they add phrases and words mostly. They also have the power to add to parts of the sentences, but subordinate conjunctions are more dense. They basically are used in joining clauses to the main clause. So it is more for the complex, sentences. We've already done our sentence, phrases and clauses session. If somebody is finding it difficult to understand what are this, the main clause, the subordinate clause, the dependent clause, the independent clause or stuff like that, you could just visit my session, sentence, phrases and clauses. There it will be explicit about the simple sentences, the compound sentences and the complex sentences. You could just visit that and have a complete idea about what I'm talking about. Okay, so now here, coming down to the subordinate conjunctions, you will see these subordinate conjunctions are used at a higher place, where you add the main clause with the subordinate clause, you add the main clause with the that is a independent sentence and the dependent sentence and stuff like that. One. Then comes the correlative conjunctions. In correlative conjunctions, we generally have a pair of words, and in this pair of words, we have to use both. We cannot just give away with just one. For example, like neither nor or either or not only but also. They come in a pair, and we have to use them in a pair. We cannot get away without using them in a pair. Okay, so that is about this. Let's go to the coordinating conjunctions explicitly. The job of a coordinating conjunction is to join two words, phrases, or independent clauses which are parallel structure. Let's check what are they. There are 7 coordinative conjunctions which are by far the most common conjunctions, and they are called the fanboys. And when we say fanboys, you have F for, and A for and, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, S for so. These are basically the fanboys that we use, and they are more in usage than any other, conjunction. Mostly they are mostly used. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so for example, we went to the stadium and enjoyed the cricket match. Now, when I'm using and, we have to understand that and is used to add to positive things, or and is used to add to items of a list and stuff like that. So we cannot use and to add one positive and one negative thing. They are supposed to be used, it is supposed to be used only to add something that is similar. I cannot say bold and ugly. I have to say, if I'm saying bold and beautiful, that is, so I cannot have one positive sentence and one negative sentence. I need to have both positive or both negative. Okay, that is about and. For example, whenever I'm using but, I always use it. She's beautiful, but messy. In that case, you have one positive and one negative. Nor, she said that she would come, nor I could have bought it. So there are two different parts. In the same way, yet. So these all are used to say the cause or the effect and stuff like that. So that is about the coordinating conjunctions. And let's have one more example. Do you want an ice cream or chocolate? Whenever I use or, it is basically an option, whichever I have to choose one. Okay, so that's about this. Let's go to the next one. Go away and never come back. So we don't say go away and come back. Go away is probably I'm giving an order to go away, and never come back is basically structure. I mean, if I have to say that please come back, I will say go away but come back. But I'm clear, I'm very angry at you or something like that, then I will say go away and never come back. If I'm not serious, I will say go away but come back. Clear? So that is how the nuances of the conjunctions are used. So you need to be very, very clear and very, very prompt and using the right option. We cannot mess up with it. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The compound sentence is with a coordinating conjunction. What are compound sentences? Now, the simple sentences are I am sick, she is bold, she's beautiful. They are simple sentences where the subject, the verb, and the object are together in place. But now the compound sentence is basically, I again tell you, go to the sentence phrase and conjunction clauses session and just check them. You will have an amazing, understanding about what I'm speaking. But any which ways, the compound sentences are basically two independent sentences that are basically, joined together using a coordinative conjunction. Let's see how is it. Coordinative conjunctions are sometimes referred to as fanboys, and notice how a comma is used with a coordinative conjunction. See, I said in a coordinative conjunction can be used with phrases, clauses, and to add to sentences, supposedly the compound sentences. Let's check some. He could not go home for he had no place to go. So this is the cause. This is the cause and this is the effect. So, for he had no place to go home, that's why he did not go home, right? So, this is the effect and that is the cause. So the next one is I took a train and she drove home. Now I put here when I'm using this and she drove home is one independent sentence. I took a taxi is one independent sentence. I'm joining these two sentences using a comma and a and with a compound sentence fanboys I should be using a comma in the American way of writing, where you know in there is a slight changes between the American way of using grammar and the British way of using grammar. As SAT is an American standardized test, we need to be using the American system of writing using the the grammar. So therefore we need to acquaint ourselves with there could be slight differences, so we need to acquaint ourselves and we need to understand that this is how it has to be produced. So therefore whenever we are using to, now comma is not used in the British kind of a system. When I am saying she's bold and beautiful, I need not use a comma and an and, because both of them are positives and there is no need to add a comma. But here there are two independent sentences, and in two independent sentences I say I took a taxi is a one independent sentence and she drove home is another independent sentence. When two actions happen simultaneously and they are joined with an conjunction, coordinating conjunction, we put a comma and then use an and, right? So let's go to the next one, nor. The same way we use it here also. See, you use a comma also here. He didn't help, nor did she offer it. Now, either of the one option, so he did not want to help, nor did she help offer it. So, okay, let's go to the next one. But, as I have said, but cannot be used with one positive, with two positives. It has to be used with one positive and one negative. And here it is, I wanted to go late, but she wanted to go on time. So therefore, I'm using a comma and a but here. The next one is she cooked dinner or she went out to a restaurant. Now, or is always in one of the option. So therefore, this is the right way of using or. Okay, so this is about fanboys. Let's go to the last two. Yet, and she owned a car, yet she did not know how to drive it. So again, she owned a car is the effect. No, I don't say this is an effect, a cause and an effect thing. Rather, I should say this is an in contrast sentences. She owned the car, but she did not know how to drive it. That's basically contrasting, right? So yet is used in contraction, contradiction, or rather, I should say. The last one is so, and so is always a cause and an effect thing. It would say she had to go, so she called a friend to drive her. The cause and the effect. She had to go, cause, and she called a friend to go. To drive her is the effect. Okay, so that's about using the fanboys. That's about using the compound sentences. In all the sentences, let's go back once again and recheck all the sentences, and you will see either they are a pair of independent sentences, or let's go and check. They are always a pair of independent sentences. Okay, he didn't go home, independent sentence. He had no place to go, independent sentence. We are using a for to join it. I took a taxi, independent sentence. She drove home, independent sentence, and is a coordinative conjunction with a comma, right? He did not want help. Did she offer it? Okay, no, they are basically two independent sentences again, but with nor, it is changing the meaning of the sentence. Let's go to the next one. I wanted to go late. She wanted to go on time. There are two independent sentences with a conjunction dividing it. Joining it. I'm sorry. She cooked dinner. Yes, independent sentence. She went out to a restaurant. Independent sentences. It is being joined with a conjunction or. Right. The next one is she owned a car. That's an independent sentence. She didn't know how to use it, how to drive it. That is one more independent sentence, and both of them are divided, joined with yet. She had to go is an independent sentence. She called a friend to go drive her. That's an independent sentence, and a so is used to join the sentence. So in all these places you will see There are two independent sentences and the coordinating conjunction is basically joining it. So that's about coordinating conjunction and compound sentences. Now, the next one, the key points are don't use a comma with the coordinative conjunctions. That uses two items only. Okay, it is like bold and beautiful, but if sometimes there are three or four, you might have to use depending on what you are adding up. Okay, the next one is don't use a comma with a coordinative conjunction in a list of three or more items unless you are American or studying at Oxford. As I told you, this is an SAT examination and we are supposed to be using the SAT standards. I mean, whatever is their way of using. So therefore, whenever you have two or three items, three or four items, and you have to divide them. If you taking an American test, make sure if it is for the SAT test, we should be using a comma and a and. Break both the rules above if using or omitting a comma makes the text clearer. This is funny. Use a comma before a coordinative conjunction that joins two independent sentences. Yes, absolutely. We just checked how we have to use a comma with a coordinative conjunction just now. So that is how we have to use. If there are two different sentences and we are joining them, then we have to use a comma and an and to join them. You can start a sentence with a coordinative conjunctions, but please don't do that. And you can put a comma after it if you want a pause, but don't start a sentence with a coordinative sentence too often. It gets annoying. Yeah, starting a sentence with but or an and or a no, it is not a good suggestion. Rather, when we were young, we were asked that we cannot make a sentence with coordinative conjunctions. And if at all we made, that had to be really logically important. Otherwise, it was scratched out. So that's the key points about using coordinative conjunctions. And let's go to the next slide. Correlative conjunctions. When you're talking about correlative conjunctions, I really love correlative conjunctions because they come in a pair and they can't live without each other, or they can be used without each other. So let's see. A correlative conjunction uses a set of words in a parallel sentence structure to show a contrast or to compare the equal parts of a sentence. The words of correlative conjunctions have a special connection between them. Let's see how is it. The correlative conjunctions are basically not only but also, either or, neither nor, both and, not but, whether or. These are the mostly used coordinative conjunctions. There are more to this, but these are the ones that we really use it often. The most common pairs are either or, neither nor, and not only but also. It depends. Okay, the next example is neither Alex nor Robin can play baseball. I want both ice cream and pie. He ate not only the ice cream but also the chocolate. So this comes in a pair and it cannot stand without the other. So make sure you definitely add both of them. Otherwise, it's going to mess up. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And the key points are position your correlative conjunctions in your sentence. So the same type of word follows each one. In other words, use a parallel structure. Use a parallel structure. Yes, we'll be having a session on a parallel structure very soon. So you will know how to use it and why it is important to use and stuff like that. But make sure whenever you are using the correlative conjunctions, they should be parallel in form so that they have both have the same tense, like the simple tense, simple present tense, or the past tense, or the future tense, whatever you want to use, it should be the same. So therefore, you could use this, this correlative conjunctions and make a beautiful, amazing sentence. Don't use a comma with a correlative conjunctions. No. We cannot use a correlative comma with a correlative conjunction unless the words after it could be a standalone sentence. For example, contain a subject and a verb and convey a complete idea. No, it's not the right way to use a comma and a correlative conjunction. We don't use that way. Not only when it separates and it's a different idea and that idea has to be incorporated, that is when we use a comma before the second correlative sentence, correlative conjunction. Okay, let's go to the next one. Treat a subject that features either or neither nor as singular if the element after the conjunctions are singular. If one is plural, put it nearest to the verb and use a plural verb. We have done this when we were doing the sentence subject verb agreement. Please check the subject verb agreement session to understand this thing more better, not more better. You would understand it at length. I have explained it at length as to how to work on it. What I want to tell you is that if you have two subjects and they are both singular, then it does not matter. But if you have one subject that is singular and the second subject that is plural, so make sure that to the closest verb, whichever word comes, make sure that is singular or plural. For example, let's say, neither Geeta nor her friends came home. That's a very neat sentence. But if I want to say neither Geeta nor her friends is coming, I cannot use is there because Geeta is singular and her friends are plural. Right? So in that case, I have to use are. Okay. Now there if I say her friends nor Geeta, neither her friends nor Geeta is coming home. In this case, this is going to be wrong because I already have a plural subject there, and with a plural subject, I need a plural verb there. Okay, so it is better that I change the sequence of the sentence saying that neither Geeta nor her friends are coming. That is more better than feeling weird in your ears as to why a singular verb with a why a plural verb with a singular noun, or why a singular noun with a plural verb. That's the same thing. Okay, so that's how it is. So the best part of it is put the singular one on the other side, and wherever you're having the verb or the auxiliary verb you would be using or anything, make sure that beside that, just adjacent to that, whatever subject or noun that you are pronoun you are using should also match with that. That will really go well. So that is what it is featured here. Okay. The next one is don't use a negative verb with neither or nor, otherwise you will create a double negative. Yes. Neither not eating nor eating makes sense. Okay. So don't, so we are going to create a double negative. Okay. Because not itself is already negative and neither itself is another negative. So that is going to create a positive one now. So that's why it is not advisable. The next one is the subordinating conjunctions. When we are talking about subordinative conjunctions, we are basically using the subordinating conjunctions with complex sentences. What are complex sentences? Yes, again, you just have to visit the sentence, phrase and clauses chapter session and you will understand what I'm talking about at length. But here, I would just brief you through it. But to understand it properly, you definitely need a lot of, you definitely need a lot of information. Clarity, not information, clarity regarding why to use it and why not to use it and when to use it and when not to use it. So make sure that you are using it. So when we are talking about coordinative conjunctions, we are talking about one independent clause and one dependent clause. We will have set off some verbs which will not, which cannot be used, understand, with a we might try to change it with a coordinative conjunction, but it would not be possible. Let's see how is it. A coordinating conjunction join elements of an unparalleled sentence structure. We'll see how. These elements are usually a dependent clause and an independent clause. The next one, most commonly used coordinative conjunctions are after, how, than, when, although, if, that, where, as, in order, that, though, which, as much as in as much as, unless, while, because, provided, until, who, whom, before, since, what, whoever, whomever. All these words are basically words with which the dependent sentence starts with these words, and we put a comma and then we continue with an independent sentence. Let's check how. Before we left home, I had my breakfast. Now, when I'm talking about I had my breakfast, that also means that it is an independent sentence, right? Before we left home. Though we left home is a independent sentence, but because before is there, it is really important that we should consider this as an independent sentence. And once this is dependent sentence, after a piece of dependent sentence, the subject should always follow after a comma. So this is how the subordinate conjunctions are used. Basically, these words are used to attach a dependent sentence with a independent sentence. Provided they come, we can start class Tuesday. On Tuesday. When he was washing my car, I went to the store. Even though the weather was horrible, they still went outside. So in all these three sentences, you will see that there are two parts of sentences. All of them are divided with a comma, but the first part of the sentence is a dependent sentence and the second part of the sentence is an independent sentence. So please understand that this is how the subordinative conjunctions are used, and these are basically used in complex sentences. Okay, so let's see the key points. If your subordinate conjunction heads up a clause at the start of your sentence, offset the clause with a comma. You have to, if you have, we have already used it here. Before we left home, it is a independent, this is a clause or this is a dependent sentence. So we put a comma there and then we start the independent sentence. The next one is, if your subordinate conjunction heads off a clause at the back of your sentence, don't use a comma unless you want a pause per effect like this one. Let's see the example. Now, we are going to talk about the complex sentences with subordinate conjunctions, and let's see how. One type of dependent clause is introduced by a word called a subordinating conjunction. What are they? The clause does have a subject and a verb, but it begins with a subordinating conjunction. I think we have already had an example, but yet still I would give one. Even though I was sick, I went to office. In this sentence, you will see even though is a subordinative conjunction, and I was sick becomes a part of this dependent sentence or a dependent clause. And the next one is I went to office is definitely an independent sentence. Okay, so that is what it is. So the subordinative conjunction, the sentence starts with the subordinating conjunction, and then it has the verb and the subject and the object. When a clause starts with a subordinative conjunction, the clause becomes dependent. It cannot stand alone. Yeah, I was sick is independent, but because I used even though, it becomes dependent. So that's about the complex sentences and the usage of the words. Now we are going to have a couple of questions to reiterate our rules and to understand that where we might go wrong, and let's work it out together. Okay. Desmond stopped running towards the startled woman until he realized she was not his mother. Let's start. So these are the four options. These are some of the type of questions that you will also encounter in your SAT writing part. So make sure you know the rules properly and you also understand when you may go wrong or how you have to mend your mistakes. Okay, so let's start. Desmond stopped running towards the startled woman when he realized that she was not his mother. So when did he stop running? The first basic thing is stop looking at the answers, options. Rather, you try to have a word in your mind, and once you have a word in your mind, try to replace it in the sentence. That's an amazing way of learning and to not making mistakes. So here, which he realized does not make sense. Comma plus when is not needed. That is a rule. So therefore, we are going to go with C. Let's go to the next one. I hope this was clear. Franklin suggested with French pronunciation, so his professor suggested that he watch French movies to become more familiar with the sound of the language. Now here, when you read the sentence C, Franklin struggled with French pronunciation. Okay. Because his professor suggested? No, definitely that is not the option. So always eliminate the options. Franklin struggled with French pronunciation, yet his professor struggled. I worked hard, yet I failed. That's an additional thing that happened. I worked really hard. Contradicting sentences, yet is always used with contradicting sentences. Here, this is the cause and that is the effect. Because he was struggling with French pronunciation, his professor asked him to watch more movies. Therefore, so is the right answer and we don't need a change. Therefore, no change is the right answer. Therefore, these two, or is always used for an option. So, therefore, that is not the right answer. Let's go to the next question. Some scientists propose that thumb sucking in children is a habit which is developed at random, and recent theory suggests that it is neurologically and genetically based. Let's check. No change. Random, considering that. C, random but random since. Just check which one should go there. Can we use considering that? No, this was a recent theory, so therefore considering that cannot be is the right option. Considering that recent theory, no, it is not possible. Let us start with but. If they are contradicting, they are not contradicting, so but. Random since. Some scientists propose that thumb sucking is in children is a habit which is developed at random since recent history. No, no change is the right answer. Okay, let's go to the next question. As the hot air balloon got close to the surface of the lake, Ginger jumped and landed in the water, and she could not take one more terrible joke from the pilot. Let's take the options. No change, but, whereas, because. So here, what can we use? As the hot air balloon got close to the surface of the lake, Ginger jumped and landed in the water because she could not take one more terrible joke from the pilot. Now, I cannot use and there because this is the reason for why she did that. Okay, therefore this is the cause for why the effect. I mean, so I can she cannot rather this they are contradicting. I mean, they are basically as the hot balloon got close to the surface of the Ginger jumped and landed in the water. That is the effect, and this is the cause because she did not want to take. So therefore, in that sense, I cannot have an and there. So therefore, I can use because. Clear? Let's go to the next question. When surfing, I don't wear shiny jewelry or bright colors since I don't attract sharks. Now, here the reason why I don't wear shiny jewelry or bright colors is because I don't want to attract sharks is the right sequence of a sentence, flow of a sentence. So therefore, looking at since I don't attract sharks, nobody goes there to attract sharks. So therefore, no change is not the right option. The next one is so that I don't attract sharks. This sounds better. So let's have so that. Provided that I don't attract sharks. Now here provided that means I am wearing them, but it says I don't wear. So therefore this is a wrong option. Because I don't attract sharks, no, definitely that is not a right option. So therefore B is the right answer. Let's go to the next question. Bethany does not like any animals with scales since she does have an affinity for snakeskin shoes. Now here it says Bethany does not like any animal with scales, right? So that is one sentence, and the next one says since if we leave that conjunction, the next sentence says she does not have an affinity. She does have an affinity for snakeskin shoes. So therefore, they are contradicting sentences, and contradicting sentences there is no. We have to use a word that will really make one sentence positive and one sentence negative, or vice versa. So, but is the right answer. We'll go with but. The next one. As a cat lover, Hadley visited Japan to explore the country's cat islands, where cats outnumber human residents 6 to 1. Let's see the options. So now here, when we are going through this sentence, you will see as a cat lover, Hadley visited Japan to explore the country's cat islands. Now, till here it is understood. We are having where. If you want to replace where, although, definitely there is no contradiction. Therefore, I cannot use although. But, again there is no contradiction. I cannot use but. There is no one positive sentence and the other negative sentence, or vice versa. Therefore, I cannot use but. The next one is wherever. Now, wherever it does not match, whereas where is a better option. Therefore, we'll go with no change, and we will eliminate this option. Always understand, eliminating the option always has a logic, and please adhere to your common sense and your functional basic fundamentals knowledge. So therefore, make sure your basics are absolutely clear. Let's go to the next one. Justin refuses to continue the family legacy of bull riding unless the rodeo judges permit her to ride the same sized bull that her father rode. So let's see, unless, is it possible? And no, provided that, because. But Justin refuses to continue the family legacy. Whenever you are stuck, please read the sentence again. That will give you clarity, because something inside clings that this is not going right. Justin refuses to continue the family legacy of bull riding, and no, provided that the rodeo judges permit. Just check out the sentence. Yes, we will go for a no change, but because the other three options does not go well. Please check it out. In 1892, Americans wanted a public structure to rival the Eiffel Tower. For an engineer named George Ferris designed the Ferris wheel. What kind of a sentence is this? In 1892, Americans wanted a public structure to rival the Eiffel Tower. So what should we go? Therefore, and what is replacing therefore here? So, can we have although or for? No. We can have so. An engineer named George Ferris designed the Ferris wheel. That's the right option. Let's go to the next one. Andre and Chuck played chess together every day. But after 15 years, Andre had only once won once. Let's see the options. No change. Every day, since. Every day, whereas. Every day, for. Let's check this once again. Andre and Chuck played chess together every day. Yes, that is already there. Since after 15 years, definitely that is not an option. Every day, whereas after 15 years, Andre had only won once. The next option is, this looks better than but. Every day, for, after, no. The beginning does not go well. So, no change is definitely not the answer, because Andre and Chuck played chess together every day, but after 15 years, Andre had only won once. This does not sound well, whereas after 15 years, Andre had only won once sounds better. So, the option no change, the option C is better than A. Okay, because we are seeing one. I mean, so probably after 15 years, today he won. Therefore, I cannot use a but there. But after 15 years, Andre had won. That makes sense. But whereas after 50, but after does not go well together is what I understand or feel. So, I find C is the right answer. Let's go to the next question. Rather than being the monster, Frankenstein was actually the scientist in Mary Shelley's classic book. Now here, rather than being the monster, whenever you say rather than, the second part of the sentence should have some comparison. There is no comparison in the second part of the sentence. Therefore, we cannot use rather than there. So, therefore, no change is not an option that we can hold on to. The next one is, besides being the monster, Frankenstein was actually the scientist in Mary Shelley's classic book. That sounds good to my ears. In spite of being the monster, Frankenstein was actually the scientist in Mary Shelley's classic book. In addition to, in spite of being the monster, Frankenstein was actually the scientist in Mary Shelley's books. Sounds good. Let's check which one to pick up. Which one does sound better? Besides or? So now I find besides is much better than anything else. Therefore, I would go with besides and not in spite of. Let's go to the next option. Next question. Before the Declaration of Independence was endorsed on 6th July, 4th July of 1776, it was not actually signed until August 2nd. No change, since, because, although. Before the declaration, definitely no change is not the option. The next one is since the Declaration of Independence was endorsed, it does not go well. Because the Declaration of Independence was endorsed, whenever you are using a because, you should always have a cause to, or it should have the effect before. Therefore, this is not the right one. Whenever you talk about since, you should have some time limit or some time you should denote some time to it. Since Monday, or since Monday I did not see her. That makes sense. Although the Declaration of Independence was endorsed on 4th July of 1776, it was not actually signed until 2nd August. So, although makes sense, although says that although this happened, something else. So, this when you are putting an although, it's basically a dependent sentence which is dependent on the next independent sentence. Let's go to the 13th one. Whereas it may not be the longest in history, one 2010 traffic jam near Beijing, China lasted for 12 days and spanned 62 miles. No change, considering, where, although. Again, here also you will say although it may not be the longest in history, 2010 traffic jam near Beijing, China lasted for 12 days and spanned 62 miles. Although considering and where and no change does not make sense, only although can make the best sense. So therefore we use although. Let's check the next one out. So whenever we're using these options, please understand the usability and the functionality of each conjunction. See, one thing is it's not vocabulary which is going to, accumulate day by day. Vocabulary does accumulate, but conjunctions and all these words don't accumulate. So if you know the perfect usage of the conjunction in the first place, I don't think there'll be space for confusion. The Mayflower Compact was signed on November 11, 1620, or established a formal declaration of their intent for selling the new land. Here, when I say or, I need to have an option between the first independent sentence and the second independent sentence. But whereas I don't think that is what it does. Let's check the options and then find it out. The Mayflower Compact was signed on November 11, 1620 and established a formal declaration of their intent for selling the new land. So, and feels good. One thing was done and the next thing was also done. Let's check the other ones. The Mayflower Compact was signed on November 11, 1620, yet established, no. If it was done on a later date, probably yet could have been the right answer, but otherwise, no. But established a formal declaration. But the compact was already signed. What's the point of but there? And only goes well. And we go with answer B, option B. Let's go to the next one. Yasser wanted to attend the lock-in laser tag party hosted by his school. Furthermore, his parents did not think it could be a good idea. But his parents did not think it would be a good idea is a good option in my understanding. Let's check the options. However, his parents did not think it would be a good idea. It's a good option. Additionally, no, we are having two contrasting sentences. Therefore, additionally cannot be the right option. Moreover, also cannot be a right option. If you see, furthermore, additionally, moreover, all these are looking like synonyms. So, therefore, all the three cannot be used. If at all you have synonyms in the options, make sure to eliminate all of them, because if one synonym cannot be, one word cannot be used, how can its synonym be used? Therefore, B is the right option. However, more so ever, like that. Let's go to the next question that talks about, it will be impossible for any of us to get seats at the concert because we leave now and the people who are not ready yet take a separate car. Let's see the options. Now here, because we leave now and the people who are not ready yet take a separate car does not make sense. Therefore, no change is not the right option. The next one, unless we leave now and the people who are not ready yet take a separate car, this makes beautiful sense. Provided that we leave now, why? When we have such a simple conjunction like unless, why? Okay. So provided that we leave now and the people, this makes sense, but unless is a better option, I feel. Since we leave now, no, we are not going to go with that. We're going to go with B. Let's go to the next option. Adding hot milk is not necessary when making hot chocolate from my grandmother's homemade mix because one of the ingredients is dry milk. Let's check if we have the options here. Now here, adding hot milk is not necessary when making hot chocolate from my grandmother's homemade mix. While one of the does not make sense, although will not make sense, even if also will not make sense, therefore no change, or because one of the, because that is the cause, this is the cause of that effect. Because is the cause of the effect. Because I was sick, I could not come to college because I was sick. Clear? That's how you use it there. So therefore no change is the right option. Let's go to the next option. Saad was just running to the gas station around the corner. Yet he should be back in fairly short order. Let's check. So, since, because. Saad was just running to the gas station around the corner. So, he should be back in fairly short order is the right option. Yet does not make sense there. Therefore, no change is the wrong option. The next one is so. So makes so much sense. So, we'll go with so. Since he should be back, no, it does not make sense. Because he should be back, no. Therefore, B is the right answer. Let's go to the next question. Because Cecil wanted his paper crown to be a clever musical reference, he decorated the edges with leaves from two plants, holly, yet ivy. Let's check this options. Here he says he decorated, because Cecil wanted his paper crown to be a clever musical reference. So therefore he decorated the edges with leaves from two plants, holly and ivy, because we are talking about two different plants here. Therefore and is the right option. Now let's go to the last question of the day. Let's take the last question now. San Francisco based Golden Gate Bridge appears in dozens of films. Wherever it often gets destroyed in action and monster flicks. Whenever you see, let's see the options. no change, which, where, whereas. Now here in this option, wherever does not make sense, because wherever it is used, because we already have this word often, whenever often is there we cannot use. Wherever it is shown, it is destroyed, that makes sense, but otherwise in here wherever does not make sense, so therefore A is not the right option. The second one is which gets destroyed in action and monosuffix definitely is the right answer, but which goes with which it often, so does not go well, therefore we are going to delete which also. The next one is where because we are talking about the films and we are talking wherever where it often gets destroyed in action and monosuffix makes sense, so we'll keep it aside. And whereas is also looks good, but where is a better option, so therefore we'll go with C and not D. Therefore that is for today. Thank you so much. I hope this session was informative. I hope I was able to clarify some of your doubts, many of your doubts with different usages, especially where to use the coordinative conjunctions and where to use subordinative conjunctions, and I hope this session was useful. Thank you so much.